This is the artificial intelligence voice of Jordan Peterson narrating this pod-slice summary of the Jordan Peterson podcast. The conversation primarily revolves around Governor Ron DeSantis' personal history, upbringing, and influences that shaped his political career. Peterson observes that DeSantis, while recognized for his administrative acumen and policy advocacy, largely remains a personal enigma for many. Governor DeSantis shared his upbringing in a town called Dunin, Florida, highlighting his working-class roots and his parents' influence. His father worked for Neon TV Ratings, a company that installed their devices on TV set boxes, while his mother was a nurse. He affirmed the inherent work ethic imbued by his modest background and his dedication to sports, particularly baseball, which taught him valuable life lessons. DeSantis significantly discussed how baseball played a pivotal role in his youth and further academic opportunities. He recalls his local baseball team making it to the Little League World Series when he was 12 years old, and how this exposure led to him being recruited by Ivy League schools like Harvard, Yale, and Princeton because of his baseball prowess and good academic standing. Peterson notes the unique individual and team lessons that baseball teaches, which DeSantis echoed in his descriptions of juggling individual responsibility and collective achievements. Peterson drew parallels between these skills and DeSantis' role as a leader, highlighting how his team-oriented mindset contributes to his administrative success. Interestingly, DeSantis' time in baseball waned as he delved deeper into his career, spurred by the events of 9/11, which led him to join the Navy. This shift illustrates his natural adaptability and responsiveness to societal events. Peterson discerns the appreciation DeSantis has for his sports background, inquiring about the collateral lessons learned from being part of a team. In response, DeSantis extolled the importance of having a robust supporting cast in all ventures, reiterating the crucial contribution of teamwork in every individual achievement from baseball to politics. The discussion continued with a deeper look at the nature and character traits of political leaders, along with a focus on Governor DeSantis' method of building a team and managing personal and political pressure, delving into the nature of extroversion and narcissism in leadership. Peterson emphasized the importance of a leader's ability to build teams, self-manage, and exercise conscientiousness. The conversation then steered towards DeSantis' approach to team building based on his experience as governor of Florida. The governor echoed Peterson's sentiments, quoting Ronald Reagan's philosophy: "There's no limit to what we can accomplish if you don't care who gets the credit." DeSantis emphasized the importance of establishing a vision and expectations, delegating tasks with trust, and handling corrective actions with discretion, stressing the importance of public praise and private sanction. DeSantis also highlighted that while building a team, especially in a place like Washington, leaders must be prepared for opposition, media criticism, and general resistance to change. Citing his recruitment of Dr. Joseph Ladapo as Florida's Surgeon General, DeSantis underscored the importance of choosing team members with the right internal makeup, individuals who not only expect but welcome the challenges that come with introducing new and sometimes controversial perspectives. Managing pressure is inherently tied to the role of political leadership. When Peterson expressed his curiosity about how DeSantis handles the stress of his role, especially in the face of continuous criticism and attack, DeSantis shared his personal approach. He stated that he pays little attention to media coverage about himself. Even when positive, his focus lies in his work and accomplishing his goals. He sees pushback as a sign that he's challenging the status quo, which can be an incremental step towards the greater achievement of his objectives. Governor DeSantis delved deeper into the discussion point of managing opposition and criticism, drawing on personal experiences. He explained that when controversies arise, especially those that are significant enough to trigger media outcry, it often signifies that he is making a substantive difference and challenging some prevailing norms. DeSantis takes this resistance in stride, viewing it as an affirmation that he is on track with his objectives. His strategy to deal with criticism is built around a unique understanding. The fiercer and more vehement the attacks, the more likely he is to be dealing with something that matters. Their conversation transitioned to DeSantis' early life, where Peterson was curious about how DeSantis' interests developed over time. Throughout school, DeSantis's athletic interests played a major role in shaping his attitude towards teamwork. Simultaneously, his understanding and interest in conservatism began via historical exploration of Western civilization, specifically the founding of America. The sound philosophical foundation laid down by the American founding fathers inspired DeSantis's political philosophy and helped shape his perspective. Interestingly, DeSantis's political ideology leaned more conservative during his years at Yale and Harvard Law School, two notable liberal institutions, largely because he found the aggressive leftism on campus unpalatable. As this discussion continued, they moved into the realms of personal history, practicality via philosophy, and DeSantis's intellectual and political evolution. It emerges that DeSantis's attitude towards conservatism was heavily influenced by his college years. The undergrad years nurtured his interest in history, and his time at Harvard Law refined his understanding and application of it. Despite his working-class roots, it was the timeless ideas marking the founding of the United States that played a vital role in shaping his conservative philosophy. That, in conjunction with his strong sense of patriotism and reverence for God, strengthened his determination to preserve American freedom. He also recalled his contrasts with left-wing student elites during his academic years, relating it to his current encounters with left-wing elites in political settings. He discussed how he essentially forged his own path based on his interpretations of core American principles, demonstrating the pragmatic approach to conservatism he champions today. Governor DeSantis spoke at length about his belief in a limited role for government, particularly in contrast to oppressive systems like communism. According to DeSantis, the burdens of such systems often fall heavily on the working class while an elite ruling class prospers. At the same time, he also criticized the current administration for their push towards certain mandates, such as everyone having to buy an electric vehicle, arguing that such decisions demonstrate an overreach of government power that isn't in touch with the everyday reality and needs of ordinary citizens. At the core of DeSantis's view towards governance is the belief that the power should be exercised in accordance with the Constitution and not by unelected bureaucrats. Fueling this belief is a deep skepticism towards central planning and unchecked government power. In DeSantis's view, such systems, like the Great Society and the war on poverty of the 1960s, often led to a culture of dependency rather than genuine empowerment of citizens. Diving deeper into the discussion, DeSantis shared his belief that people have now given up a significant amount of their life opportunity to the state in the form of taxation, which he sees as power and responsibility being taken away. He suggested that this makes people more dependent, leading to a loss of meaning in life. Dr. Peterson highlighted that despite rhetoric around limited government by various administrations, government has historically grown year on year, no matter who is in charge. In response, DeSantis shared his achievements in Florida, where he claims to have eliminated 2 state agencies and reduced the cost per state employee, making it either the lowest or on par with the lowest per capita in the United States. Despite a significantly smaller budget compared to a state like New York, DeSantis claims that service delivery in Florida is notably better. Delving into the practical side of limiting government, DeSantis spoke about the necessity of having confirmed personnel on day one, ready to execute pre-planned executive orders and legislative roadmaps. In closing, Peterson questioned DeSantis on his approach to downsizing, considering the livelihoods potentially disrupted in the process. DeSantis states that in Florida, there are often other opportunities in the economy for the displaced staff and emphasized his belief in reassigning necessary functions when departments are eliminated. Governor DeSantis delved deeper into the issue of education and the state's influence on it. Disagreeing with mandates enforced by federal authorities, DeSantis emphasized Florida's focus on robust academic programs, preparing students to become conscious citizens, and battling ideological indoctrination. According to him, education in Florida comprises universal school, choice, and American civics. The latter includes a special program for teachers who receive a $3,000 bonus upon completion and offers deeper insight into America's intellectual roots. As he questioned DeSantis further, Dr. Peterson focused on DeSantis' stance on the Department of Education. The governor expressed his resistance towards federal involvement and insisted on making these institutions reflect the state's mission and interests. He cited the University of Florida's decision to add a Hamilton Center for Public Policy as an example of providing balance and access to diverse viewpoints, countering politically correct narratives. Turning to DeSantis' political career, they conversed about his challenges and aspirations for the campaign trail in his upcoming debate with Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. DeSantis admitted that generating a meaningful narrative for voters during a nationwide presidential campaign can be challenging, especially with the impact of corporate media. But he believes that it provides an optimal opportunity to elaborate on conservative policies and their success in Florida. And he noted that his tactic had shifted to taking advantage of various media opportunities more aggressively. This strategy includes participation in corporate media outlets, attending local events, and engrossing in conversations that contribute significantly to the information flow to the community. With this strategy, DeSantis expressed confidence in building substantial support among his followers, particularly in an early voting state like Iowa. Governor DeSantis acknowledged that the role of a political leader is not only about winning an election, but delivering on the promises made. Drawing from his own experiences and his resounding victory in Florida, he expressed confidence in his capabilities to win the presidential elections. DeSantis elaborated that his approach extends beyond mere political slogans into concrete actions. To illustrate this, he shared his perspective on critical issues shaping America's future. This includes immigration policy, where he emphasizes the need to halt the border invasion, reduce bureaucracy, and tame the deep state. He also mentioned the importance of bringing energy production to maximum capacity. The governor stressed the importance of robust leadership, saying leadership is about doing the right thing when it's not easy. He pointed out that real leadership isn't tested when the wind's at your back, but rather when facing opposition and challenges. By standing firm on his values and vision, he has shown his ability to lead during tumultuous periods, a quality he believes is essential for the future president. Speaking on his potential candidacy for the Republicans, DeSantis passionately expressed his aim to meet the responsibilities with dedication and tenacity. He emphasized that if chosen as the candidate and elected as president, his primary focus will be on delivering on promises made during the campaign. He is confident that by his second term, America could expect to see significant improvement and progress. As the conversation concluded, DeSantis suggested Dr. Jordan Peterson as a potential host for the debates, stating his belief in more informative sessions under his supervision. Peterson acknowledged this proposition as a remarkable opportunity and a genuine privilege, reflecting on the importance of public engagement and awareness during the electoral process. Despite Governor DeSantis' tight schedule, the discussion remained insightful and engaging, providing essential insights into DeSantis' leadership philosophy and governance strategies.